got these streams.
Hi everybody, this is
Today on
Let's start the show. Coming at you from
YDBT, coming at
Studios.
you live.
Yay.
Suck it.
Sucking dick and okay. What's up, guys? It's Alex coming at you with another live stream, episode 14. Today we have Frank Perdomo in studio. Frank Perdomo just happens to work at Power by the Hour, but he's not here in a Power by the Hour capacity.
Home of the deal you can feel.
Yeah, exactly. He's actually really good, well-spoken, good on camera, the whole 9 yards. And wanted to just talk some shit today. We're going to talk a couple things today. We're going to talk 3-valve harness, the swap harness. That video did real well. We wanted to kind of, with the permission of PBH, kind of say, hey, this is what's going to be in production pretty soon, and see how it all looks, and go from there. Just kind of give you the ground level R&D shit, and it's going to be in production. And Perdomo, if you wanted to kind of talk about what do you think in terms of timeline. I know it's kind of a hard fucking thing to...
Well, it's important to understand that what you're seeing right now through our social media, what you're covering, Christian's car, what Mike's putting on Instagram, it is like the basement floor of this product. You don't usually see that stuff from any companies that are going to develop anything for manufacturing. You're going to get, hey, we're releasing this, and by the way, this is some of the stuff we did in development, or you see a car already running and go, hey, I want it. So
Right.
We're still, I would say easily months, I'd say at least 2 to 3 months away from getting this stuff back from manufacturing. Right now, we're working on diagrams. That's going to the manufacturer. Then they got to, send us the proofs back, make sure that's okay. Then they might even make 1 or 2 of them and send them to us. We'll test them, and then we make 100, 200, 300 of them.
And that's when you actually start seeing 05 to 09 S197s actually starting to go fast. Like starting to go fast.
They've started to go fast. Now we're just going to take them to the level that all the 11 and up cars are.
Yeah, it's funny because a lot of people, like I go to shows and they're like, oh my God, do you have anything so I can swap a Coyote into an S197 05 to 09? I'm like, yeah, the complete swap harness, but this is kind of neat that, Jake kind of developed it because I guess it just happened. It was serendipitous. Kind of all happened at the same time.
We knew, the 05 and up car, 05, S197 is such a much better car than everything that preceded it in the Mustang lineup that if you can just drop a Coyote motor in it, we know what the results are. It's an 11 to 14 car. And they're great.
Exactly.
There's nothing wrong with them.
Yep.
Other than maybe the MT82. But if you can put it in there and make it easy, there's so many of those guys out on the road. Not only is it going to be for the GT guys, it'll work for the V6 guys as well. And those K members are the same as GT. So there's going to be a lot of guys that can pick up one of those cars cheap, get a good car.
Right.
Not
decent. Yeah.
A Fox body. Listen, I'm a Fox body guy. Every Fox body out of the factory, in my opinion, is broken.
Right.
There's nothing really great about the car.
Some of them are put together with wood screws.
Yeah. Well, yeah. You could find, like soda cans in the dashboard, all that fun stuff, but the suspension wasn't great. It was built by Ford, the truck company. We can make them great, and there's a great industry around that, but the 05 to up car was built by Ford, the car company.
Right.
And you can see the results. The suspension works. Oh.
Right.
Yeah, everything works. Look at the catalog for the suspension on an S197, compare it to the catalog for a Fox body, and there's a big difference in the amount of pages.
Yeah, for sure.
Because you need theory to fix a Fox. You need coilovers or maybe some shocks and struts to fix an S197 or make it be exceptionally good.
Right.
So it's such a better mousetrap that, everybody knows that. They just need more power in those years. That's it.
Did you watch any of the drag week? Like any drag week? You guys out there, I don't know if you guys have access to the internet, or, on your phones, if you're watching drag week, is anyone catching the drag week coverage and what do they think about it? Like it's up in the Northeast and we know this time of year, it's actually pretty nice, but it rained the first day. So they only got one running, but, like give me your impressions of drag week as a kind of like the whole 9 and then kind of the announcers. Like we know one of the announcers is a very well-known NMRA, NHRA, kind of like a local, does Bradenton and all that stuff. But like, are you watching any of the drag week to see if that's something we might want to get into or anything like that, or what's up?
I've paid attention to it the last 2 years. Last year the most. I watched live coverage just about every day. This year I haven't been able to because we're in the middle of doing some stuff at the shop. But the overall premise, there's nothing really like it. It's what I'm attracted to. kind of on steroids, right? I like True Street because you can kind of run what you brung.
Right.
Drag Week is an extension of that, in my opinion, because not only is it classes for just about every kind of form or function, but then you tie in. Well, you want to go on a 30-mile drive? These guys are going 200 miles.
Each
they can't
time.
trailer,
right.
all this stuff, and the cars are anything from a 6-second, 2,000 horsepower plus car to
some guy went fucking 640s today.
Yeah.
Tom Bailey or some shit.
And
or
there's like a
660s.
1915 something Ferguson running in it. So like, I think Hot Rod, that group in general, does a really good job of kind of keeping it focused on just a little bit of everything. Mm. And that's why you see some 20-second cars. And
20-second? Dude, there was a fucking Fiesta. I think it ran 17s. And I'm like, dude, really? But I get it. He wanted to compete and all that shit. But my favorite thing. So it's real obvious. It's real obvious the guys that run that show or run that race are those. What are those guys' named? I'm really bad. I don't know their fucking name.
Like the Roadkill, the
it's
editors from
Freiberger
and Finnegan.
Okay. Yeah. So they were... they're obviously, they like working on junk and kind of like just put a carburetor on this and this and that. Sick. Awesome. But what pisses me off is when you see a technologically like badass ride. I saw a CTSV wagon run like a 10-1 and you could hear them go, well, there you go, CTSV wagon go down the track and runs a 10-1. And then I'm like, all right, and then a Dodge Dart with primer door, like 4 different rattle can primer fucking paint job, and you hear what's the other guy, the not bearded guy, Freiberger was like, whoa, whoa, dirt, they're just fucking yelling, and I'm just like, I get it, you like junk and you like working on junk, and then because that's what I pay attention to, like the guys talking, and they're like, does anybody racer in need a 4.8? Someone needs a 4.8. It's like a 4.8. You need the whole fucking motor. Yeah, I'm sure someone's got someone in the trash.
In the trailer.
Yeah.
Their little cooler trailer that they're hauling around.
You know what I heard today? Coarse. I need coarse lug nuts. I'm like, coarse. Is it? Are we driving Model Ts?
Well, I mean, I think that's what's unique about it is they do have a need for all. There's so much shit out there that
horseshoes. Racer we need horseshoes.
And these guys, like I was watching the guys at DBR. They're customers of ours. Their car didn't make it this year. It was out there last year with our 4R200 in it. It was running in the 850 class. I think they did pretty good. That car under some big changes, and we're watching that happen. But they had their Grand Cherokee, the SRT8.
Yeah, the new turbo. One, like the really boxy one.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying not new, not the track.
Not the new one.
Not the track.
Not the track. Okay. Before that, the ones that had like the center exhaust. I think. I don't know. I'm not that well versed on the Dodge Mopar stuff. But,
me neither. I don't care.
The thing runs. It hauls ass. Like you can set them up to do it, and they lost a power steering pump and lost an alternator on the second day.
Right.
And they were posting up about it, like they got to replace the power steering pump. And then they got to replace the alternator. Got to take the turbo off.
Oh,
so they're not sleeping tonight.
More
to try
turbo
to get
problems.
this done. I mean, I used to go to Sebring and to Homestead and Daytona and be worried about. And back when I was driving my car to the track, and was super worried about what if something happens. And we would literally, before Google Maps and all that stuff, we would take a binder and we would have all the auto parts stores listed with their phone numbers, because if something happened, you wanted to call first, then at lunchtime, go get what you need, come back to the track, get it installed, get some more track time, and then go home. 2 hours, 3 hours home.
Yeah. And this is like that on steroids. You got a question real quick. George's vlog, he just asked you, hey, question for Frank. What's a rough estimate for the parts needed, including motor, for a Coyote swap and an 03 manual Mach 1 Mustang? Holy shit, that's like a whole swap kit, like a Gen 1, Gen 2.
I've answered this a lot, and it really depends on what you're starting with.
Yeah.
So, George, what you're going to want to really lay down is, what are you going to buy for an engine? Are you going used or are you going new? Because the price sweep is about $5,000 between the two. That's a big chunk. Are you going to try to modify your stock K-member? Probably not. So now we need a tubular K-member. Is the tubular K-member that you want need lower control arms as well? And additionally, does it only work with coilovers? That's a big question.
Give him a rough. This is what I would do. I'd give him a $3,000 plus minus estimate.
I would say you're going to spend anywhere from $10,000 to $20,000 easily.
Yeah.
And It really depends on parts. If you're buying everything brand new, you're going to be closer to the top end of that scale.
Yeah.
I think if you're going to pay somebody to do it, there's another big sweep because I know what we charge to do it. It takes 120 hours to do one.
Right.
And
don't worry, it's just someone got shot outside. It's okay. I live in
12
Riviera
gauge.
Beach.
sawed off over there.
Frank's like, what's happening? I'm like,
I should have worn my
it's a
vest.
mixed community. You can just walk right in here. Go ahead.
You're paying us to do one, and we're going to use all new parts because that makes things so much more efficient. We know what we need. We're going to use it. You're going to spend $25,000 fairly easily. But are you doing 6R80? Are you doing a manual? Are you doing a 4R70W? Is it going to be a 10R80 car?
Some people I think say they're just going to dump a Coyote in the car, and I know this from experience. The Fairmont, after the engine was in, more money was spent getting everything to work than to physically get it in the car and go, it fits. Like all the little hoses, the fittings, the fab work that Mike had to do and still is doing.
Exactly. And again, it depends on what you want at the end of your investment. What is this car supposed to look like when we're done? Because that's going to dictate what your budget kind of needs to be. And then you can say, okay, I have that budget, or I can do it in stages. Like if you want a supercharged car, then like our speed drive works great for that because you can use the NA version then upfit to a supercharger. So if you want a supercharged Coyote swap and you're going to start with our NA stuff, you can do that. And it's not going to hurt you that bad. You can get bigger injectors now and do the fuel pump now and run it NA. And then to the point where it's just dropping a supercharger on over the weekend at some point. But
I think they're going to have to come to the conclusion that if you don't got 13 to 15K, like let's say in the middle, then you shouldn't even consider Coyote swap. Now, that's on a Mach 1.
Yeah, Mach 1, there's a big price sweep.
Right. Converter, 6R80, which control pack are you going to use, Gen 1 or Gen 2?
Tell me the price difference between an economic K member and like a Maximum Motorsports kit. It's like $1,500 more for the
all depends on what you
stuff.
want.
It's quality. You can use the stock oil pan. You don't have to shim the motor. You got the economic stuff that you're going to have to work around to make it work. And then you want to ask yourself, are you able to work around that stuff? Because if I'm working on my back in my mother's garage or my parents' garage, I don't want to be shimming motors and hoping stuff fits. It needs to fit because I can't cut a header or some shit here.
Exactly. It's so simple. 03 Stang GT says, do you think PBH will make a Coyote harness for the 2010 Mustang? I'm going to give you the short answer. Fuck no. But I'll let you answer as to... don't get into the weeds with this shit. We just know the 2010's a bastard child in all fucking ways.
It's a recurring question since we released the stuff for the 3-valve. And the answer is probably not. I mean, that car is close enough to a Coyote in 11 where you might be able to get away with using 11 and up wiring to get it done. The big problem is the fuse block is different from 05 to 09 and then to 10.
Right.
So what we're developing right now ties into that fuse block so you can have all that connectivity to the body harness. We lose that.
Right.
And now it's a completely different pinout. So is there going to be something for that?
To make a harness for a 1-year car is silly. It's silly for a 1-year car.
I feel bad for all the 2010 guys. I felt bad for the 2010 guys
when they bought the car.
2010 in September when Ford dropped what seemed to me like a secret was the 5-liter Coyote.
Nobody knew the Coyote was coming out until they came out. And nobody. That's a dog. That's a dog.
The dog got shot.
That dog, I think, is high because they smoke non-fucking stop next door.
Well, that's
so
he's
high as fuck.
You know?
It is a gateway drug. If you don't think so, go fuck yourself. But I'm telling you, that dog barks non-fucking stop, and then they shoot people outside. So I gotta get the fuck out of here. It's unreal. I think Justin Young. I tuned Justin Young. He just gave me $20. Said, "Hey, thanks for the 825 horsepower sauce." He has a Pro Charge S550. We had some fuel delivery issues. Fucking fixed them. Made some power. Got him off the dyno. Like literally 3 pulls. Done. No big deal. So would you ever do something like a drag week? Like would you ever say, man, I want to do that shit? Because I'd love to do it, but they won't let me because I'm not that vanilla. You know, these guys are kind of vanilla, and you kind of got to be vanilla on drag week. You can't say that guy, look at this piece of shit go down the track. You can't say shit like that. But would you ever like to do an announcing thing like that? I would love to if they let me be me, but I don't think they'll do that at all.
I wouldn't mind doing it, but I don't know enough about those cars. I'm just going to be like, whoa, that's fast. Whoa, that's fast. What happened to that one?
Just yell, dart! Dart!
But, that's their... those guys aren't 60s. They weren't 20 years old in the 60s.
Right.
they were 20 years old, 20 years
after the car
after
was.
the 60s.
Yeah, they're
when
my
those
age.
cars were, they were of lore.
Dude, they're
and
my
they
age.
were plentiful.
They're legit my age, and I'm like, I don't give two shits about those cars, man. I'm like, okay, this is why I think. I hate working on cars. I fucking hate getting under a hood and having to replace a rocker arm, a pedestal, shimming the different length push rods to get rid of any noise in the valve train, constantly checking the valves. Fuck that. Like, it's just like, so then once I got into a Coyote car, and yeah, you're going to pay some money. And if they make 650 wheel, and it starts every fucking day, and it runs on 93 pump gas, and you're like, why the fuck would I ever go mess around with anything old like that?
Well, if you watch Roadkill, honestly, it seems like they feel the same way. Because every time the thing breaks down, it's Finnegan bought a ramp truck, an enclosed ramp truck.
Why? Just
to
have
haul his blasphemy car or whatever.
Okay.
And the
that
thing
broke
literally
down.
made it like 20 miles and left them like in 10-degree weather for a whole day and a night. Everything was wrong with it. It took him like 3 weeks to get it
How's
fixed.
that cool? I get it. It's
content,
a struggle.
but
It's content.
He was not. He wasn't happy. He had started going after the guy he bought it from because the guy told him it was ready to run, ready to drive. And,
yeah, it's just like.
And I'm like, dude, I'd react the same way. Like, I'm not okay. Great, we're doing this for the channel and all that stuff, but I want to get home.
Exactly.
And the mechanic was just like
they bought. Okay, I'm not trying to rag on Roadkill. I think they're great and great content and everything. I just wonder at what point do people stop looking at content like junk for content, right? Like, oh, I'm gonna buy a lowrider. I'm gonna drive it across the Las Vegas desert to Vegas, through the desert, like physically through the desert. They put 4-wheel drive tires on it and drove it, and I'm like, I turned it off. I'm like, fuck this. Yeah,
drama. It's drama.
I get. Are they gonna make it? I mean, they're not gonna fucking die. They're not gonna let their buzzards.
They might miss the event, but they're gonna make it all right.
Exactly. I got a couple of questions quick. Gilbert de Hoyos. He's from Hoyos. Says, hey Alex, I got a 2018 10R80 Mustang with a Roush 2650. Why the fuck did you do that? Ooh, the collective. Oh. What parts do you recommend for 750 wheel and cooling upgrades? How about a Whipple or anything but a Roush blower? How about let's start with that? No, I'm willing to talk shit on the Roush blower because I got no affiliation with Roush and they fucked this up bad.
Well, you'd better know better than I would because we haven't seen one yet or
there's a
worked with
reason.
One yet.
Yeah, look, the IATs are insanely high. The intercooler brick is super narrow. IATs are stupid high. It's map based, meaning there is no MAF sensor. So the calibration can only be done with like HP tuners or something like that because they drew the Roush file. If you want 750 wheel easily, I'd rather go with an Edelbrock, a Whipple, a fucking Vortec because all of them or even a Pro Charger. Yeah, I said Pro Charger. And any of those will get you there, I think, easier with less issues than the Roush setup. Because what do you got to do to that thing? You got to like run a rear tank ice mount because it's just IATs are bad on it. We literally don't recommend it. I'm like I can't co-sign on that thing like at all. Like it's just not my thing.
That's been the trend with blowers since the Coyote hit. It's like 11, 12. It was dominated by Roush
and Whipple. Remember the early
VMP,
2.9 and 2.3 Whipple kits?
But they had the Whipples that were rear feed.
Correct.
Which had the Roush lower manifold.
Yep.
And there was a problem there between Roush and Whipple.
Exactly.
That way, that's how Whipple fell off because they had to design their lower.
Yep.
While Roush took off and VMP was taken off with it.
Piggybacked off of that, right?
And the Kenny Bells never really set any major records and stuff like that.
The 4.5, 4.2s.
Paxton 2200 SL dominated for a while, and then Whipple came in with front feed,
and it changed everything.
And in 15, and changed everything, and
right.
I said, okay, let's apply it to the Gen 1 guys. And now we're here at Gen 5, and Edelbrock is back in the game. And they've been like that forever, but they haven't been at the top of the game, and now they're there.
And
here we go. Roush isn't there.
Yeah, Roush is gone. Like, literally fell off the face. I don't know if they don't care anymore, or just they didn't really... Because it looked like a rear mount... It is a rear feed blower. They just stuck a throttle body in the front of. And you're like, well, that's not innovative. It's just a hole in the front of it.
It just goes to show it's timing and design and so forth and what you're going to do. But injectors have been like that too at some point.
Exactly. Alfredo Diaz says, what's a good gauge setup for a Coyote T56 Fox used for autocross and cruising? Florida, 5.0 gauges versus race pack versus autometer or a mix of gauges. That's
AIM.
all. That's you.
AIM. If you're going to spend, I mean, the Florida 5.0 package is fine. You're going to get cobalt gauges and stuff like that. You're still going to spend $1,000, $1,200, right? If you go race pack, all these things, they probably have some decent stuff. I have an AIM MXG with a GPS sensor. That thing is lights out. It's beautiful. They make smaller versions now that have like turn signals and stuff like that built
Like the
into
whole
it.
thing integrated?
It's all one screen and it's CAN bus. So all you have to do is tie in to the two wires, not an OBD2 plug. You just tie into the two wires behind the OBD2 plug and then tell it in the programming what year your car is, and it pulls all the CAN bus information. Then you get a GPS speedometer sensor, put that somewhere on the car. Super accurate, does lap times. They have programs for autocross as well. You can actually get your own timing beacons if you want to have your own timing at autocross
lap times
as well. You can set up your own track in their program based on the GPS tracking and set the start and finish so you can get your own lap times comparing to what's going on, so if they don't have like a leaderboard or something like that. But I have to say AIM because that's the only thing I've ever worked with, and everyone that I've put in
it's snazzy
with an
shit.
AIM, they love it.
Really cool.
And it's lights out, no problems. It's all programming. It's easy
works.
to figure out. It's got every single alarm, and if you want to write your own CAN bus, you can too.
Oh, okay, cool.
It's something good.
Martin Q says, best Nitrous setup for my full bolt on the 8510 or 8315 stock stall converters. Planning on staying 150 shot. Thanks.
VMP or
yeah,
Whipple.
no, he wants a best Nitrous setup. I'm like, any kit, Nitrous Express, Nitrous Outlet. I don't think Nitrous Works exists anymore, do they? Yeah, they're just fucking and I don't think NOS, I don't think they came out with a kit for S550 or anything. I think it's Nitrous Outlet and Nitrous Express. That's kind of the guys. Just get a kit from them. It's gonna run you fucking $2,000 because window switch, bottle heater, purge, controller, all that shit. Good wiring. Make sure you get the proper pill chart for E85 because a lot of you literally go right to E85 because what do? They go, I want a 200 shot. I'm like, no, fucking 200 shot. You blow it through the fucking moon. You know?
My thing with Nitrous is, and we've never really been big on Nitrous other than when it's needed to maybe 60 foot a car or something like that, like a 50 shot, 100 shot with a centrifugal or something crazy. But my takeaway from it is if you don't know how to install it and understand everything about it, then stay away from it because there's a lot of moving parts on every end of the car. And if it doesn't work, you shrug your shoulders, and it could be as simple as a bottle heater flunking out, or the bottle's not filled, or solenoid went bad, or do I have it set up right? We've gone through it. We've had issues with nozzles and this and hooking that
knock
up.
Sensors. The knock sensors go ape shit. They hate it. They go north, and you're like, okay, I'll bring it in at 4,000. Oh, it's still hitting. Okay, bring it. And I'm not going to shut off the knock sensor. I'll desensitize it a little bit with you giving me the okay to desensitize it, but I'm not going to go that crazy. There's a bit of a delay on your cam. I'll work on that later, but I made it small, meaning, yeah, exactly. It's a bit of a delay, but you know what? At this point, I'm not going to try to fucking fix it. It's good enough for what it is. Okay, so thoughts on VMP supercharger for the 18 and up GT. Rumor is it's going to be a Magnuson front feed deal, similar to what they had to Roush.
VMP?
Yeah, it'll be a private label situation where Magnuson's making the blower, front feed. I think VMP will offer then packages like a stage 2, stage 3, as opposed to Magnuson's base kit. Same thing with a Roush setup. Same exact front feed, 2650 rotor packs, and it's probably going to be ported right off the rip. So it's probably going to be pretty good. It's going to be on par with Gen 5 Whipple and Edelbrock setup. It'll be the same thing.
That's going to make it hard because we were used to one or the other. There's never been 3 dominant PD blowers.
3 great front feed blowers.
The debate will begin and go, which one should I get?
Yep. Who's gonna install? Look, you'd have to be a psychopath or a glutton for punishment to do a comparison between all 3, because this is what's gonna happen. Someone's gonna lose. Mm-hmm. Someone's gonna fucking lose. So if you go out there and you say, I'm gonna put Whipple versus VMP versus Edelbrock, right? And then let's say you're a dealer for all 3, right? Let's say you're a shop and you're a dealer for all 3. Well, you'd be really stupid to do that comparison because someone's gonna lose. Yeah. And then you go, but then you're going to try to do the upsell, right? Maybe you get better margins on the loser. Let's say you get better margins on the loser. Yeah. And then all of a sudden...
Which happens a lot.
And exactly. You get better margins on the loser, and then you go, but,
we can make it work. We can put nitrous
Look, we'll just give you a fucking 50 shot to make up for the lack of torque or something. And I'm like, dude, like when I see comparison, like this is a reason I don't do aftermarket cold air comparisons. I did one on a Roush setup, but that didn't really matter to me because it's just a Roush setup. But I would never do a JLT versus PMAS versus Air Raid versus Steeda because the guy that loses is gonna fucking hate my guts. And I work for a tuner, Lund Racing, and they're gonna say, "Oh, this asshole in Florida did a test and made us look like shit, so now I'm an asshole." They already think I'm a fucking Trump supporter, like hardcore, because I went on a date with a girl and she called them a racist, and they're like, "You a Trump supporter? Did you?" Okay, so you saw that, right? You saw.
I saw the post. Yeah, the guy coming on there and complaining to your employer that you were either insensitive or not.
I was
smart,
irresponsibly
irresponsible.
uninformed.
But here's the thing:
Go fuck yourself.
if you're gonna complain about somebody making a comment, right, and you're gonna accuse them of being ignorant, then on what basis?
Yeah.
Like, it's an opinion.
It was funny.
So, what makes your opinion not ignorant? I mean,
Yeah,
there's so many
it
sides
became
of the
a
coin.
political, and I don't talk politics or religion on this thing. You know, I'm not going to tell you I am or am not a supporter of Trump. I talk car stuff. I don't
Trump
give
train.
two exactly. And a lot of people, and the funny thing is, the people that were Trump supporters were just like, "Dude, what's the fucking problem?" And they're choo choo and just going
Yeah.
crazy. And I'm like, okay, whatever. I don't get involved in that shit. You know, it's just not. I don't think it's my place to talk politics. Now, if you want to know my political opinion on shit that happened, great. But my affiliations, no, that's nothing to do with me. Real quick. Thoughts on VAP Supercharger? That was Jonathan Franco. I want to make sure I mention the names. I'm sorry if I don't. And Vince Zampella was the one that asked, drive shaft. I broke a DSS carbon and aluminum already.
What setup?
Yeah, because usually if pinion angle's on point and everything's good, an aluminum, like is it a...
The only aluminum one that I've seen us like twist was a DSS,
Okay.
but it was on Joe Basil's car.
Yeah, that thing made
And
like
that thing had like
1,400.
1,000 passes. It
Yeah.
was always making 1,000 plus. So we weren't surprised to see a fatigue and fail. It
like
wasn't their issue.
And it was like a 1,300 wheel at 4,000
And
pounds.
launching it consistently hard with 20-inch wheels and 17-inch wheels and stuff like that. And when I think we ended up putting a carbon one on that, and it never had a problem
Never had a
again.
problem,
But he
right.
hasn't run it as hard as he has before. So
Thoughts on, actually, Zach Tiller says, say something nice about the 462 valve. I can't, right? It's smooth.
they sound good cammed,
They do sound good cammed.
and you can carburate them.
You can carburet a 462 valve.
I've seen
That's what I wanted to thank you so much. You reminded me of something that happened last week that I thought was very funny.
Uh-oh.
So, anyway, say something nice about the 2 valve.
You can make 600 horsepower
Sounds like a
with 25
sewing
pounds
machine.
of boost.
Sounds like a sewing machine at idle.
Okay.
Chilling. Is it not a ticking sound, but it sounds pretty fucking smooth. Slim Tim, real quick. Tim Verrett says, "Yo, it's Tim B. Planning on my next step of the build and moving to a triple pump 4 from the dual. But I want to know if there's any reason to get ID 1300 over the FIC 1650. Goal is 1,000 horsepower. What I'm going to tell you is this: the 1300s have vetted great data from ID. Okay, I personally run the FIC 1650s, but I use different data. Okay, let's just say that, and it seems to be okay. I run the 1650s. I don't have any issues. But if, gun to my head, I'd probably lean towards the ID because the tunability, the construction materials are a little better. FIC, I run them in my Fairmont. I run them in my red car. They run great. The data's good. But the 1650, I wouldn't run their data. I would run probably a 1300 at that point.
You've never heard of the IDs ever leaking or being clogged on startup?
IDs have never. I love you. I love you with the inside jokes. So we had not recently, maybe a year ago, we had a rash of bad. But we thought, not okay. Are we talking about the recent thing that just got shipped, or are we talking about
I'm just asking you in general.
stuck? You mean stuck open and like flooding the car and shit? I've seen injectors get stuck open and flood the car to the point where there was like E85
Well, I've seen that.
whooshing
But that
out
was,
the back.
not
But I've
the
never
injector's
seen one
fault.
causing like blue smoke, right? I've never seen an ID injector cause blue smoke to come out of a car. Like never. Like in history.
I guess it could be a theory that still remains to be tested.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe Paul Young needs to get on that, right? He needs to be like, why are my injectors causing cars to smoke blue?
We don't
Tongue in cheek, guys. Tongue in cheek. They're not causing the fucking car to go with smoke blue. But Slim Tim, 1650s will be okay. We're going to tune it with a little bit different data, some tweaks. And if it's money for money, you'll probably have a little more headroom with 1650s. But 1300s are probably proven data. So I think either way you're okay. Your budget is going to be the thing that matters the most. Now, when we were talking about carburetors, is something that happened the other day that I thought was pretty funny. A carburetor company goes out on Facebook and starts saying how we don't dislike EFI. Just get that right out the bat. But they basically went and said like everything wrong about EFI. They were like, carburetors compensate for altitude. So do EFI systems, especially like Fuel Tech, Holley, all that shit. What was it? Tunability. You don't have to constantly replace a sensor. I never was under my hood more than with a carburetor. Your father has a carbureted Falcon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We stopped trying to adjust it. It's just bad. I think we have the wrong intake manifold on it. It's got an air gap and it's a 289.
Hey, do you want an RPM?
Maybe.
I'll give you an RPM. I have one in the trunk of the car. I need it out of my life. You can have that RPM. And it's air gap is way too much for that car, dude.
Yeah.
Fuck.
You gotta get on and go.
Whoa. Why'd you put a Victor Senior on it?
I'm gonna put a tunnel ram on it.
Finnegan will be like,
Dual
Falcon
quads.
with a Victor Senior.
Man, if you can get that thing figured out.
Exactly. Steve Brazel says, hey, Alex, how big of a donation do you need to start to give before you start writing names on your wall in Sharpie? $50.
We should do the batting gloves like Willie Mays Hayes.
But what do we put up there? Use condom wrappers?
The wrapper or the...
Well, oh, the actual condom itself? Well, that's
DNA samples all over it.
There's jizz all over my wall.
You should
jizz
get
on my walls.
frame like a whiteboard or something, put it up there.
Yeah, I might. Like, I'm not gonna make you donate to put names on the wall. I mean, that's kind of silly. But if any manufacturers, look, Power by the Hour gave me that clock that's up there, and it's always in the background. People know it's a PBH clock.
Let you know what time it is.
It's not right, but I just never said it. I never said it properly. And then if any manufacturers want me to put up shit here that I support, obviously if I don't support your shit parts, I'm not going to put your sticker on my shit. But what I'm saying is I'm not looking to charge anyone anything. I'm just doing this to get information out there. Frank is a well-known guy in the industry, and he'll give you a different, kind of point of view on things. And I just kind of wanted him here as himself because he's real good to talk to when we talk shit at the shop. Question for you probably. Thoughts on Falcon Azini's FK510 for daily driving?
The 510s?
Yeah.
I don't have any experience with those.
What do you have in your car right now?
615s.
You've had the 615s?
Right now I have the Nexen NUF4S. It's their 200 tread wear tire.
Right.
Nexen is owned by Nitto, so it's supposedly like the new version of the NT05 in a Nexen brand, because they didn't have a performance tire. As far as what was the brand? The Azenas, Falcon.
Yeah.
I've run the 615s before, which was their 200 tread wear tire, and honestly, I wasn't good enough yet to give you a good opinion on it. I was slow, and I was under driving the car with good shit, and I didn't die, I didn't crash, but I couldn't tell you lap times compared and all that stuff.
Okay.
And most of my time was spent on NT01s and Toyo RRs. The RRs are race tires, right? Slick. So
exactly. So Jake Birch asks me, which Saddle bar kick do you recommend? I would recommend the 2650 E-Force Stage 2. Comes with an 18% overdrive. You have the ability to run like a 4-inch pulley, like the biggest pulley is still going to make 11 psi. It's still going to make 650s plus wheel on pump gas. So we got to make sure that you live in an area that has decent fuel. So again, the 2650 Stage 2. That's the one I would go to. If you can swing the 103 millimeter throttle body and the 114 cold air, go ahead and do so. Brian Double Bliss went 860s with it. Again, good fuel, pulleyed to death and ported. So it's not an off-the-shelf kit, okay, guys? So it is pulleyed to death and ported, and he doesn't give two shits if he blows it up. Because I see a lot of people going, well, he made 1150 or 1200, so I could too. I'm like, no. You could if you did what he did, and you don't care if it blows up or not. Alex, should I downgrade from my 16 GT to an 11 GT500? What are your thoughts about that, Frank? 16 GT S550 to an 11, because my fans, the people that follow me, they know that I love the 1112. I like how they look. I like the gearing on the trans, and with a TVS upgrade, it's a badass little ride.
What are you gonna do with the car?
That's what I ask them all the time.
If we're gonna go drag racing,
GT500.
Is the
if it's an auto
16
S5
auto?
Yeah.
Versus a manual 1112?
Yeah.
That's pretty much an even, maybe a little bit of an edge to the GT500 top end if NA or supercharger.
He didn't specify. He just said, should I downgrade? So he already is under the impression that his 16 GT is an upgrade.
I mean, it's not a bad move, I would say, but it depends on what you can do with a car. If you can drive it every day and have a specialty car and that has power already, you don't have to invest out of your pocket to get a supercharger, already has one on there, even though you're probably going to upgrade it. You have one already. You're not drag racing hardcore with it.
Right.
Then that's not a bad downgrade to consider.
That'd be interesting. Yeah, I mean, I would personally, if the 16 is auto and you drag race, keep the 16. If you like torque and daily drive the car and don't really race and you want something that's going to hold its value a little better, probably the Shelby GT, because there's going to be a shitload of S550s everywhere. I mean, they're just like everywhere, you know. But like you said, it's kind of what depends on what you want to do. Yeah. I can't. It's not a blanket question. It's not gonna work that
Which
kind.
one's more comfortable to drive?
Oh, the S550, fucking by far. So I love S197s, but man, an S550 is a nice fucking car. Especially you get the premium with the cooled seats. It feels like you got sweaty balls and your sweaty ass. I got kind of a hairy ass, right?
You do?
So the problem is, like when I sweat, it drips down my back, and the hair on my ass, around my asshole, it's spongy.
Really?
So, yeah, so if I sit on an air-conditioned seat, it's squishy.
Have you ever tried talcum powder or a spray?
Have you ever heard of, what was did you notice that I had wipes in there?
You did, in the bathroom?
In the bathroom.
Oh, no.
Did you notice? Go in there, take a look. I totally have wipes in there. Once you wipe your ass...
Flushable, right?
Flushable wipe. I don't give a fuck. It's not my place. Clog the pipes.
Because there's preparation H wipes and there's regular wipes to clean up.
These are like baby wipes,
okay.
like legitimate.
Those are good ones.
And I have Cottonelle ones in the bathroom.
Yeah, don't mix them up with the bleach ones.
Because think about it. If you bring a girl home from the club or whatever, and she's like, "Wow, he really wants to eat my cooter," fucking just... So...
Wipe up.
Yeah. Hey, you see that blue box, baby? Hit that. Yeah, if you want me to smash that. But once you wipe your ass with wet wipes, there's no going back. Like, wait, okay. So do you wipe back to front? Front to back? Okay. When you wipe, what's the technique? Do you stand up and smoosh the shit between your cheeks before you wipe?
Well, you don't run a mile. You're just standing up to make room.
No, you don't stand up when you wipe. Okay, you stand up when you wipe? Like you literally...
I don't like stand up and go, okay, everything's good up here. Let me go back down. It's more like a crawl.
But what if you... Okay, but you don't kind of search over the seat? Look, I'm like that?
Well, like right now, what you're doing, you can't do in a public stall. You'd be up against that board. God knows what is on that. So you're just going to lean forward and work with it. Or you're going to have to
wait a minute.
You
hover shit on a public stall?
No. I clean up first. Because I'll bring the wipes with me, clean up.
Okay.
Then apply.
So you've wiped your ass with wipes before?
Yes.
Okay. Have you ever gone back to toilet paper after having wipes?
Yes, because if you get to the bottom and they're really moist, then it has the residue on it, and you're going to walk out of there with cinnamon ass. And then you got to dry up. Like, you can't go out there to the air dryer and put your ass on it. You got to go with toilet paper afterwards and make sure you don't have any remnants of the wipe.
Without naming names, I dated someone that only bought single-ply toilet paper.
Christian.
No. And it made me judge them. I went...
Yeah, you can't do anything with that.
What am I... Single. So then you're rolling up a big, huge wad... And then you go in there and you got and I got a hairy ass. And it's just a mess.
You're going to go right through it.
Dude, it goes right through it. Then you get shit finger and you're like, God damn it. So I ended up doing wipes one day and I was blown away. Now I see why babies are so happy after their fucking change. They're like, wow, it's fucking great. Oh, yeah. Dude, it was awesome. So this is what I do. Go in the bathroom. The heavy shit, the big stuff, wipe, and then I clean up with like a 2-ply or some Cottonelle shit, and then be done.
Yeah, final pass.
Yeah. But no, when people be like, if I go to a girl's house and they got single-ply shit, you can expect to be like eating that shit later on. You're like, oh, I'm gonna go down and I'm gonna be eating that shit.
I'm so glad I put this out
Hey,
for
baby,
my friends
can
and
you
family to watch this
what's
tonight.
this? And it's like curled up cotton balls in your mouth. Ooh.
It's
So let's talk about cars.
we've all been there.
We've all been there, guys. Come on. This is great. Okay, great. Let me go back to the question. I love, dude. Okay,
This
so
is locker room talk.
this is what we talk about all day. So the carbureted guy, back on what I was originally talking about, the carbureted guy was like, oh, fuel injection doesn't do this, fuel injection doesn't do that, and the carb does everything, you know. And then I said, what does the MAF sensor do? Like the MAF sensor literally, like a lot of people say, I pulleyed up or I pulleyed down. Do you need a retune? Well, no. If I tune the whole curve on the expected airflow, it'll fuel properly. Carburetors do the same thing. The Venturi, based on airflow, let's say if you're up in in Utah, it'll only suck in so much air going through the metering blocks or through the Venturi and draw in the amount of fuel it needs. MAF sensor does the same thing. It sees a certain amount of airflow and it fuels properly. But I thought it was funny. How did we get on shit and Cottonelle around that time?
What was it?
I don't know.
The carburetor made you think about wiping your ass.
Yeah, I love shit talk. Oh man, it's great.
The show is called.
It's talking shit. Yeah, so actually,
it's the talking shit show.
We're right on topic. Someone already asked how much for the hats. I said no,
boy.
Industry only. Sorry, you got to be a cool kid. Alex, should I downgrade? Did someone already ask about your? Okay, Michael Hernandez said, did someone already ask about your Fox, Mr. Perdomo? Where's your Fox? What's it doing? What's it? Give me a quick rundown as to what's going on with the Fox right now.
The Fox is in a transition period from road racing to autocross. I've never autocrossed, like in my driving up to now, so it's all kind of new to me, and it's kind of awkward because I show up as a newbie in a full-on race car, so the expectation is
it's cool looking though,
through the roof, and I am just learning just like everybody else, but it is transitioning from road racing to autocross. So no big wing, no big splitters. The tires are kind of thin for that class, where before I could only run a 275. Now in autocross you can run a lot bigger tire as long as they're 200 tread wear. Suspension wise, it's set up for road racing, and the alignment was actually set up for road racing.
Right.
I made some changes there. We're gonna take it out Friday night if the rain
Oh,
holds
yeah,
off to the autocross. There's Christian wants to take the Celine, and there's another customer of ours that's gonna go.
Christian wants to take to Celine.
Yeah,
it's running.
He asked Jake today for permission to take it, and they said, "Yeah, go for it." I'm like, "Okay."
Okay.
I told him to check with his tuner.
I haven't got a log yet, dude. I got it. Okay, let me just get off topic with that bullshit. Okay. It's already okay. So Michael Caparelli, California, $20. What's that now? Like the exchange rate, $20 from. I'm sorry, California, Canada. It says CA. I thought it was California.
I was gonna say I didn't know they had their own
Yeah,
currency.
well, I mean, they're gonna have their own fucking. The way they're going in California, they're gonna have their own everything.
I think we're more valuable. I don't know if it's a loss, or if he's got to pay more to convert to a U.S. dollar, like $1 million less than.
He said Gen 2. He said Gen 2 car with a 2.3 Roush JLT intake, long tubes, free flowing, 79 pulley, D-stroke, 95 BAF, 93 octane, added twin 73 throttle, L&M intake cams, down 30 wheel after he added L&M intake cams. Yeah, no, that's the problem. I think the problem you're gonna have is 93 octane, right? Because what people do is, see, now you're seeing more airflow, but less load. It's weird. Like when you do cams, it's you should be able to, throw a little more timing in. There's less cylinder pressure. It just kind of passes the air through like a lot easier. That's why you lose torque. It's just a freer flowing setup. It doesn't seem low. It actually seems on the money for 93 octane. Now, cammed car should be making in the 670, 680 range, but your limitation is, if anything, it's going to be the 2.3 Roush at that point, because it's a little blower and it's buzzy, right? It's buzzy. So the moment you go on the hit, it makes power, but it's buzzy, and it makes a little knock sensor not so happy. Now, I don't know who installed your cams. I don't know where they're being phased. I don't know who's tuning your car. I know if you say Lund or whatever, I can't tell you much, because unless I see a data log, my car's going up. I'm like, okay, I don't know what that is.
And that's all before you start talking about all the possibilities of different dynos and test and heat and sampling and what tires you had on. There's a lot. That power level at at that power level, that difference could be a lot of small things
Little
going
things.
at once. I mean,
did you go on a ET Street R? Did you
if
pump
our
up
stack is 30 degrees hotter,
it makes more
it's going to
power.
sample, it's going to show more. Then all of a sudden you come in at good weather, you lose. You're not going to show as much power.
100%.
So
exactly.
compare your dynographs uncorrected and see if you have a drop.
What's the horsepower rating for the PBH fuel pump for the 05 to 09 Mustangs?
I would say 550, 550 maybe. You could probably eke it up to 600, but it depends on what you see in the logs. Because all we're doing is putting the is it the Deechworks pump in the stock hat, and then giving you a feed and return line with a filter using the stock rail. It's all -6.
Right.
So be conservative, 550, 600. So it's going to be entry level blower level without adding that extra boost that everybody loves to do.
I'm going to move the screens around a little bit just so I can look to the right as opposed to looking to my left for the questions. Would it be possible to add the Vortec or Turbo to Hush Money? To add it like on top of the fucking Edelbrock?
What?
I mean, that's like
Well, if you're
tri-charger.
going to do it, you might as well add 2 more.
And 3 Nitrous kits.
Yep.
Fuck it, why not? Poor boy, I don't think that's something that I'm looking to do. I'm gonna ride out with the Vortex. The Edelbrock Supercharger and port it if possible, pulley it to death, run an 8 something, and be happy for a while. You know, maybe sell it for a 20 Corvette. Kona Blue 18 gapped you. Paid me $10 and said, Alex, love my loan tune from you. Car runs good. Put in my request for a nitrous tune and got Brandon. Are we dialing it in? We're dialing it in. Keep up the good work. Awesome. Yeah. Look, I had a guy today say, your tune, my tune, like I own it, right? Stumbles, but then Brandon tuned my father with the same exact truck. So I'm gonna request Brandon. I'm like, cool. Why don't we do this? Give me your dad's name. I'm gonna give you his tune. And if it stumbles, because that's the tune, it's the same tune. It's you know you can cross flash a lot of cars. A 19 F-150 two-wheel drive or even four-wheel drive has the same strategy as every other 19, right? Even if it's a King Ranch or a fucking I don't know the fucking trim levels on F1 F-150s. So we don't have our own tune. So anyone that get any tuner out there in the tuning queue, you're gonna get the same kind of service because we all pull from the same deal. The adjustments might be a little methodology differences, but we all
It's
basically
not going to be stumble or not stumble.
Exactly. So okay, now that was Kona Blue. Now we're gonna go. Forget wipes. You need to install a bidet. Imagine. Have you ever got a bidet?
My parents have one. I've never tried it.
I don't know if I want water up my ass because I'm afraid what if it gets in my ass?
No, well, my parents had one from like the early 90s, and this thing is literally like a toilet bowl with like a fire nozzle in the center, and you can hit
the
water.
Is it cold water?
It has hot and cold, just like a faucet.
Hot water.
And if you turn this thing up, the water comes up like this tall. I don't know what kind of cleaning you're trying to do with that kind of pressure.
Could you imagine you need to fucking power wash your asshole?
Imagine water spraying all over the wall, mixed with shit.
Oh my god, just power washing your asshole.
And then just feeling weird for a day.
I don't know if I could do it. I don't know if I could do it bidet because at what angle of attack? Because your asshole and my asshole are in different spots. Like mine is like at North 30.
The azimuth.
Mine's where the Milky Way is. Yours is where Orion's belt is. Yeah. Okay, someone gave me $5 for the Prep H jokes and laughs. Scott Culpert says, there's a 2020 Supra with a tune apparently gapping the 85 full bolt-ons. FBO! Full bolt-on Gen 2, Gen 3 Coyotes, and GT500. I don't think it's possible, and he hasn't raced anything auto. Races looks it up. What do you think?
A Supra, is that?
The new Supras are quick with a tune. Yeah. They're like 11-something cars.
Well, I told you the other day, we had a turbocharged Z4. Came to our dyno. The guy did some work to it, and that thing made like 600 horsepower.
Right.
With, he did,
Which it's a Supra, right?
So it's apparently they're very similar. Right. I don't know if that engine's any different. I know Real Street's doing some big thing about making 1,000 horsepower.
Theirs is in drag week running 11 O's. So it's very possible, guys. Very possible. D-Self says, Alex, AFR stays at 0.76 lambda at wide open throttle during the pull at 7,200 RPM. Short-term fuel trims go to 106, 109, around 6,000 of the same pull. Does that mean I'm running out of fuel, or the short-term fuel and short-term fuel trim is pulling fuel, so I don't go rich, going lean? So positive short-term fuel trims means it's trying to add fuel back in, meaning you're running out, meaning if it's spiking, so if you see short-term fuel trims go like really quick spike at the end, you're severely running out of fuel. You're draining the fuel rails of fuel, and it's trying to keep up, and it can't do it with the short trims. If it's averaging just kind of hanging out at 106, just kind of hanging there, I mean, and it flatlines if you graph it in the log, it just probably needs more fuel at the MAF, or you got a MAF leak somewhere. That's usually what the deal is. They're usually on the rich side, 0.98, 0.97.
Well, those trims, as they're going up, does that mean the fuel's actually being supplied, or it's just trying to? Doesn't mean
both.
If you run out of, if it's going up and you run out of fuel here, it's just going to keep trying.
It's going to keep trying.
It's not going to go, I'm out.
Yeah, and then when the fuel trims stop really making a difference is when you look at measured AFR. If measured AFR is slant 0.76, and then it spikes, you'll see measured AFR start to trend up. I'm like, it's physically running out of fuel. And then you'll smoke blue.
Injector stuck.
Exactly. Free flowing exhaust. Someone gave me $2 for saying free flowing exhaust. MK, yeah. I love that they say free flowing exhaust because you can't say cat delete because you get in trouble. The moment people say, Alex, can I delete my cats? I go, do you mean you're installing a free flowing exhaust, sir? Yeah, free flowing exhaust.
Off-road only.
Yeah, exactly. Explain to the poors that their 5.0 Windsors cannot beat a Coyote. Shut your mouth on that shit, because you're saying a 5.0 Windsor, meaning a factory one? Yeah, no,
Yeah,
it's
if you're going
really,
stock for stock.
stock for stock, it's impossible. It's
you got to give the
225.
Windsor a little something.
Yeah, 225 horse versus a fucking 420, 30 horse. I mean, shit.
Well, let's do this. A 400 horsepower Windsor
Yeah.
versus a 400 horsepower Coyote.
Ooh.
Which one wins?
I'm probably taking the Windsor because it probably has 400 torque.
Okay. So that RPM up top
I don't think it
isn't
matters.
going to help you.
I don't think it matters because it needs that RPM to make it up there. I'll probably be out on the Coyote car.
Now look at it the other way. What does a 400 horsepower Windsor sound like and drive
Oh, well,
versus a Coyote?
the Coyotes do sound like shit, and it's quiet. A 400 horse Windsor sounds wound the fuck out.
Mean, right?
That's stupid.
And you're at 6,000 RPM, you're going to be done unless it's solid lifter, all that stuff. Then you take it a little bit further. Is 400 horsepower enough?
No.
Because now the game changes.
500,
now you
600.
need a block, you need another set of heads, and the Coyote's sitting there going, well, I'll take 10 pounds and go 650
Right.
without having to do any of that shit.
Yep.
So
I get it, 100%.
where in the scale are you?
Exactly. Twin turbo 2012 Mustang with a 6R versus a twin turbo 18 with a 10R. Both at 900. Same gear, same size turbos. Only main difference is the transmission and a 300 horsepower weight advantage on the S197 side. What's the fastest car? Probably the 18 Mustang. Because it's got 12-to-1 compression. It's got a whole point up in compression. Mm-hmm. You can RPM it to death. And that 10R80 keeps it exactly where you want it. Like right there. That's why Manuel Gomez's customer, Jesus Fajardo, was able to go 860 in a stock motor with Aldo Weld's kit, who's probably one of the better kits out there still, and top mount. And the record stood for a year until LPF grabbed it, and then I think Lund Racing grabbed it back. It's just crazy. But the 10R80 with clutches, like upgraded 10R80, it's pretty stout. It's kind of hard to beat. Now, people are already starting to try to swap those motherfuckers in Fox bodies and everything. Yeah. Ultimate header made exhaust for already before even the control system is out. Like, there's no control system yet. Ford Racing, I know, is working on it.
Yeah, there's standalones coming. And
unless it's here now, I don't give a fuck. Like, I just dude, I need it now. Because let's say you have you buy a 10R80, a Gen 3 Coyote, and you have it in your Fox, and I'm going to wait for the control system. Then something else comes out that's cooler, better, faster. And you're like...
Which Ford can do.
Exactly. Ford can fuck you in the ass and say, you know what? We can put 10R80s in Gen 2 cars. And you're like, fuck, I bought a Gen 3 motor. A Gen 3, who knows?
Yeah.
But
or a Godzilla.
Yeah, I mean, if you really want to ball out, you can
Godzilla
get a 6.2 truck fucking motor and with push rods, because technology, right? Fuck you. Fucking dumb shit. Root Beer says hookers and blow or strippers and meth. Hookers and blow. Or strippers and meth.
Strippers and meth.
Strippers and meth. Wait, hookers?
No, hookers.
Hookers fuck. They pay to fuck.
I think he's got that. That's not a good.
That's bad.
Strippers you just and want meth. Me to say hookers and blow.
Hookers and blow or strippers and meth. Hookers are paid to fuck based on their job description. Hooker.
Now you could probably pay the stripper with the meth, I guess.
Not at Rachel's.
But
They just take your money.
I don't know. That's not a tough one.
No, hookers and blow. Thank you. So Alfredo Diaz says, Frank, 295 35 18 BFG rival. 1.5s on a Coyote IRS swap Fox in the front with chicane 23 flares. What size rear to balance the front full MM suspension with 3/4 offset in the front and feel coilovers? I read it exactly how he fucking wrote it. This is what I deal with.
I would say, I mean, you might want to check with Vorslag, Terry, but I would think you want to put as big of a meat back there as possible.
Oh, sorry.
Maybe 305 if that's a tire option, but most likely you're going to end up with a 315 in that wheel width, which you can get away with on that's 550. Additionally, why not put 315s in the front? Unless there's a class restriction, like in some of the autocrosses, like the one I ran with Good Guys, you had to have a 275 front tire for street machine. You can run whatever you want in the back.
Okay.
So if there's a restriction like that, then I would think you kind of want to go big or just go 285 square so you can rotate them. But if you're looking for the ultimate setup, the more contact patch you have, typically the better. Especially in an autocross where there is very little track temp and the tires really aren't going to stay hot. So, and you can't do burnouts and stuff. So you want as much rubber on the road or the asphalt parking lot that you're in or the gravel parking lot that you're in to try to maximize it. But I could see if you had too much rear grip, you're going to end up pushing the car.
Yeah, it'll plow.
You lose a little bit of that throttle steer.
Real quick, Fuego Sauce, an unpaid question, said 2012 GT6B has an 18 manifold, free-flowing exhaust. I love that. PMAS cold air on 91. Always throwing a P302 code, meaning cylinder number 2 misfire. P301 is 1, P302 is 2,
Okay.
P3 all the way to 308.
We've had one like this.
PO300 are just general misfire. I've changed the coils and the spark plugs. Could the issue be the tune? Now, I don't know how to make cylinder number 2 misfire, right? Like I can go in the tune and go, maybe I'll run it real rich, number 2, or like real lean, like then, that whole bank will kind of show a discrepancy versus the other one. What I usually do is I take that coil and I move it back one or forward one and see if the code followed. But he said he replaced the coils.
He replaced it. Yeah.
So if you've replaced the clutch recently, I like how they say 2012 GT 6-speed and the 6R80 is a 6-speed. 6A.
6PA, 6A, 6M.
6AM. I do
6-8M.
I do GTA or GTM. GT manual, GT. So if you guys say GTM manual, GTA auto, that'll be better. I think you'd have to take a look at what's happening in that cylinder, right? Do a compression test on each cylinder in that bank.
We had a car brought to us that had misfire codes. It was a 2011, and this thing, you would watch it with IDS, and the misfire codes would go nuts, and it was running perfect. It wasn't exhibiting a misfire, and we chased it. We checked his oil because we thought maybe there's something going on mechanically, right? Only like 6 quarts came out of an 8-quart system, so we thought that must be it. Did the oil change, got it done, still misfired like crazy.
Really?
But it never exhibited it. Checked the plug, everything was good. Checked the coil, moved the coil, everything was fine. We checked a bunch of stuff, nothing. We even replaced the crank sensor because the crankshaft position sensor in the back,
Yes.
there is a TSB for those that have a different O-ring. So we thought maybe it was that, maybe it was too far away, maybe it was too close. My question is, since there is a crank relearn process, is there something that could fake a misfire not in the tune, but through the systems that are on board? Because if it's trying to program
A watt box.
if it's trying to program this balance to the engine, the crank relearn, the position of it, could there be something that's throwing it off, making it think it has a misfire, giving you a misfire code when there is no actual misfire? Something electronic.
Watt boxes. Watt boxes are MSD 2 steps. Those are the only things I've seen cause some kind of misfire where I'm like, dude, okay, look, quick secret. When you get an MSD 2-step or a watt box, we disable the misfire logic. because it's gonna misfire on purpose. Right now, Rami Zaidan has a TVS customer. Check this out. You'll like this. TVS customer, manual, S550, launching on a two-step at 4,000 RPMs. Oh. Like, what do you think is gonna happen to that car when he lets go of the clutch? Shit's gonna fucking explode. He's either gonna spin the tire, crazy, drive shaft's gonna fly out of it. Honestly, I tell people with a manual TVS car, leave at 5,000 or at 4,000, and it'll make 10 pounds of boost the moment you fucking release the clutch. There it is. To be up on 10 pounds at 4,000 RPMs, everything's shaking, knock sensors are going to shit, misfires are happening. I'm like, dude, yeah.
You mentioned heat.
Oh my god, the blower, fucking the bypass was shuddering and doing a bunch of dumb shit, and you're like,
what are you trying to?
I think people think
that kind of RPM
because they just want to floor it. No, I've never seen a TVS car.
No, it's all vital, like 1,000, 1,500 RPM.
Exactly. They go ooh, boom, and the moment you let go of that clutch and it feels a load, the thing just fucking makes 10 pounds of boost, and there's your wheelie. You know, I don't think it's necessary, and a lot of things that cause misfires are the electronics themselves. But sir, to answer your question, I don't know what's causing the P302.
Yeah.
I would definitely do a compression check and see if one pot is down.
Cross everything off the list as possible as you can and shut off the code and keep driving.
Exactly.
Because I think there's a few out there that are just going to keep doing that, and you're going to exhaust yourself trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
Either get into another car or ignore it and hope for the best.
Exactly. Miss M. Raglan says, Alex, I'm saving up for a positive displacement blower. Living in the South, are there any brands I should avoid due to the cooling issue or just insufficient cooling? We live in Florida.
Not the new ones, no.
New stuff, 11 and up, anything, aside from the Roush S550 front feed deal that they have for 18 plus, is pretty good. Magnuson. Actually, Edelbrock 2300s are still decent. Edelbrock 2650s, Whipples, front feed, rear feeds, Roush, VMP, everyone and their mom that makes a blower from 2011 and up, except Roush front feed 18 and up. I think you're okay. 140 IAT, 130 is pretty normal in 91 degree heat. And then when you get rolling, it'll go down to like 120. Remember Chad, the guy that comes to the shop all the time, get some coffee? I love him. Actually, I didn't know how to take him at first. I love him.
Yeah, he's awesome.
He's awesome. He just comes in.
I got one of these hats made with the black and the green.
Yeah. Oh man, he must have been like, oh yeah, he loves I love him. We just sit there and
I tried to get one made that was out of bacon.
Dude, let's get some
Café con leche.
Yeah.
Ready to hit it?
Yeah, hit it.
Let's hit it.
So he brought this Café con leche stuff. It's like it's literally called like milk and coffee. And I'm highly lactose intolerant, so I'm probably gonna shit my pants. If I do get to fart, I'll just stand up and turn around.
Cold brew. Cold
brew. Do I shake it?
I don't think so. It should say on the back.
So this is what we're drinking right now.
It just says to open it and wear a diaper.
Open it and hope your toilet has baffles on it.
Don't make any fucking plans.
Is your toilet a Kohler? If not,
it's the same.
Did it fizz when you opened it?
Yeah.
I fucking mushed it around like an idiot.
Oh, careful.
Shit. Here we go.
Shield it.
Okay, no, we're good. All right. So it's called. What's it? Who makes this shit?
This is called. It's from Made.
Cold brew.
They make a nitro coffee like this. It's really good.
Cold brew con leche. And all right, let's hit it. It became a review all of a sudden.
I'm not gonna sleep tonight. St. Petersburg.
It's
It's a little light on the sugar.
Yeah. I'm like, where's the sugar? It's like
it says shake gently.
You fuck. Gently?
Yeah.
Well, can we twist? You know what? I'll wait till I get to the bottom and do this shit. And yeah, because it's actually like a Starbucks.
Yeah, like a what do you call it? I don't know. Starbucks is weird.
Some Frappuccino. It's good. It's not
I feel like dancing.
It's not like Doka. It's not like Don Cafe. Did you see the Patrick Swayze? What's the movie he made with Nobody Makes Fun of the Baby? Or nobody, whatever.
Put baby in a corner.
Put baby in a corner. That's it.
Dirty Dancing.
Dirty Dancing. Did you see the one where they did that to when you come home to your cat and they superimpose the cat in the whole thing? I was like, oh, that's pretty good. They did a really good job. I went. The whole dancing when he's coming up, and then the cat just kind of, and he holds up the cat. I thought it was pretty good. DVS. Oh, sorry.
TBS
Good.
cold brew.
Yeah, exactly. Tyler Heuerman, Heuerman. Heuerman?
Not gonna be able to spell that.
No, Heuerman. Hey, Alex, do you unplug the TC harness under the hood or just push the button off at the drag strip? Also, do you use factory line lock? If you use the factory line lock, you cannot disable ABS. It uses all of that in conjunction. If you have like an ABS fault or an ABS issue, like if you unplug the harness, which is what I do, you won't be able to use it. So to answer your question, I unplug the ABS pigtail by the cold air. It disables everything, meaning you can go right to the fucking wall. That's why I don't like turning off traction control in the Tune, because I don't want you guys to say, "Well, I told Lund Racing to shut off my traction control, and I fucking I took out 40 people in the 8th row." And no, I don't want any of that. No, thank you.
I hit both walls.
Yeah, exactly. Divyesh Patel says, "Hey guys, have an 18 GT Magna Ride car, and it's going to be used for drag racing. Why? And rolling racing." I like you, Divyesh, already. Replace Magna Ride with Steeda single adjustable coilovers, and now car will not go over 78 mile an hour. Any ideas to what to do? So he disabled the Magna Ride. Probably didn't program it with the body control module. Maybe foreskin. And now he's wondering why it doesn't go over 70 miles an hour.
GT350?
No, some 18 GTs have Magna Ride.
Okay.
Premium badass shit. So he wants to drag and roll racing it, and he's gonna want to try to eliminate the Magna Ride, but it doesn't go over 78 mile an hour because it's probably looking for the Magna Ride. It's like, your shots uninstalled, bro. We're gonna slow you down. It's weird how coffee makes me like instantly better. Like I feel better.
You feel like a better person.
I feel complete. Aqua Control, cool name. Got beat by a V6 Cadillac in my base Focus with the stock bottom end. Will the stock bottom end handle a 150 shot for me? Strippers over hookers. Do you think a Focus bottom end will handle a 150, Frank?
Strippers over hookers.
Strippers over hookers. That doesn't make any sense.
Well, I mean,
you get laid with hookers. You get laid with hookers.
Listen, there's a lot of different levels to hooking.
Right.
The intercourse is a whole other level than going to the
half and half.
level.
Half and half.
Yeah, a little half and half.
What's half and half? What's half and half?
I don't know.
I thought.
Never
So
heard
check
of
this out, right? So, someone said, I thought it was always blow and puss.
Okay.
But someone said,
Is it
someone said to
hand-job,
me,
blowjob?
no, someone said to me, I thought it was anal and puss. I go, wait a minute. Half and half was anal and puss? That is insane. I'm sure someone's going to call Lund today and say, I can't believe Alex talks about half and halves. This is my show. Shut up. This is my show. We talk shit and Mustangs. It's called talking shit.
We're talking about what's important.
I thought half was anal and I'm like, wow, you would go there?
Wouldn't that be called going half-ass?
That is half-ass. That's pretty good. Half-ass.
So he stock bottom in 150 shot?
No,
Probably not,
no,
right?
no. It's blow up. It's like quadrupling the fucking engine's output. Got beat by VC. Thanks for the Gapplebees. Cuban Coyote guy has a badass NA cammed S550 with a 200 shot. And let me, turn off the knock sensor. Knowing this shit might blow up, it's still alive. Thanks for the Gapplebees tune. New fuel pump on the way. His fuel pump died. It happens. I'm telling you. Once you do nitrous, I fucking hate it. I fucking hate it. Not down on nitrous companies. I don't like, because it's all on the end user. It's all on you. I have no control anymore. Sorry, late to the gangbang. What do you think about the On3 turbo kit for the 1819 Mustang? Thanks for all the teachings, Master Yola douchebag tuning. So, On3 kits, right? Quality, fitment, not that great. Mm-hmm. Do they make power? Yeah, they make power. I can't knock an On3 kit when you can get into a kit for $3,900, $4,500 fully loaded, maybe $5,000. Bitch makes, if your motor's got it and your fuel's got, Brandon has an On3 base kit, makes 1,100 wheel.
What I always told people with that question, because we got that question plenty, is yes, making power isn't going to be the problem. Do you plan to keep the car long term?
Right.
Because the build quality, if that is the problem with the kit, is that where it's lacking? If you're going to drive this car every day, after a year and a half, 2 years, what kind of repairs are you going to be doing to it? And how's the fitment going to be there if you're going to continue to drive?
Do you remember Do you remember the downpipe that looked like a saxophone on the 3-valve? And I started playing "I'm Never Gonna Dance Again" by George Michael because it looked so stupid. It looks like someone bent it.
And that was the one that we didn't turn the boost controller on the
Oh,
dyno.
and the
It
guy
was making
got all
power,
bent. Yeah.
and he went down the street, and they turned it on and it made power, and they made us look like shit.
Yeah,
We
exactly.
deserved it.
Fuego Sauce says, "I appreciate it. Give me $5. Thank you." Jason Fry, Alex 14GT, Department of Boost Kit, Gen 2R, JLT 123, long tubes, headers, 52 pun injectors. Any advice before I install and tune? Any advice? Booster pump, sir. I don't see a booster pump anywhere in there, and I know some of the Department of Boost kits give you a. Now, how does wire work in terms of gauge? The lower the number, the thicker the wire.
Yeah.
So I think Department of Boost gives you a -2 gauge wire to run from your battery to your pump. So it's basically like a power line.
Yeah.
And there's your back. It's got more voltage. So
I feel like I'm seeing 30 volts.
yeah, I smell some plastic burning in the back. I would get a booster pump like a VMP plug and play version. Just plug that bitch in and go. If you want something programmable like a JMS, you're good to go. Department of Boost kits, probably fine. But I prefer not to have a big wire going to my FPDM. I just prefer a booster pump, and it probably does the same thing electronically. If you're an electrician, cool. I don't want a big red wire like a speaker. It's like Alpines,
I don't know. We had in the 13, 14s when they first came out, GT500s. We were doing the dual booster pumps, VMPs, the Vortex.
Yep.
They're about the same
Same thing. Yeah.
And we had a rash of them that would blow the fuel pumps up, and literally it would lose one pump, and we take the pump out. We think it was a booster because we just put it in, check the fuse, all that stuff, pull the fuel pump out, and literally the plastic cage at the bottom of the pump, it'd be melted, and the spring would be hanging out of the pump. And we're like, never seen that before. Those are 450 liter per hour.
Yeah. Those are
267
badass
pumps.
Whoa, whoa. He just smashed the mic. Are you okay? Is it pointing? Is it pointing the right way?
Do I have an ear?
What'd you do? Holy shit! Is the mic pointing the right way? You good?
The mic,
Okay.
no, the mic
Okay.
is now.
There you go.
Here we go.
Sweet. You almost died.
I almost hurt my ear off here. You need a wireless.
Whoa! You talk with your hands.
Yeah. So we were talking about the fuel pumps, and yeah.
Shit. Okay.
But that was weird.
Yeah. M. Raglan says, appreciate the response. Keep up the excellent work. Educating the masses. Most informative videos. Thank you very much. Jason Fry, get yourself a BAP. Michael Caparelli says, in regards to the last question about the cams, the car made 30 less on the same dyno. Similar temperature, humidity, tires. 93 was sweet. Brandon said, logs on point. If install is good, anything else mechanically I should start checking? Ooh, so you put cams in and it made 30 less horse. We might have to look at that one again, Michael. Do me a favor, just kind of mention that to Brandon and say, hey, Brandon. And you probably already did, right? But well, if he says the logs look good and it's seeing good timing and it for whatever reason made 30 less, we have to look for a variable, right? There's got to be a variable we're not seeing. Are they actual LNM intake cams only? Are they comp cam stage 3s? Is it a bad batch of cams? I'm not saying that's the problem, but we have personally seen comp cams, early grind comp cams, like literally have them not clocked right or anything like that. So, everything okay? Fran?
People are complaining about echo.
Oh, fuck them. Honestly, no offense, guys. And seriously, if now you're gonna complain about echo, get out of here. It's like an hour and 9 minutes in. Now they complain about echo. Justin Johnson says, how do I get into tuning Coyotes? Well, you have to befriend a tuner, in my opinion. It's really tough. It's really tough. I think when you hit that, it fucks something up, maybe. I don't know.
I think when I pulled on it, maybe it...
Oh, maybe it did it momentarily. He said it just randomly started. So,
okay.
Yeah, someone said it just started.
It's a piece of shit mic.
He's like, no, it's worse, man. It's worse. It's a piece of shit mic.
What about if I hold it over here? Does it sound better?
I don't know.
Is there less reverb?
Do a quick sound check. A little sound check.
Is there any snare? Is there snare on my mic? Sound check? I need comments.
No, just keep talking.
It happened when y'all opened the drinks.
Lies. It happened when you open the drinks. Lies. When you pull on things, starts happening. Alex, it's Alex's mic. It's probably you and me. I like how they're like, it's Alex's mic. Now they're saying it's perfect. Good. Yes, you. It's Alex. Alex is still beat you. So it's basically, I'm probably picking up the echo in that mic like we did last time. So I might have to maybe.
Well, I moved it. behind your monitor. Maybe it'll help.
Yeah, we'll see. They say it's better. Okay, good. Now they say it's echo. More cowbell. Anyway,
Give me the microphone.
go fuck yourselves. How do I get into tuning Coyotes? Befriend a Coyote tuner. Honestly, it's one of those things where it's still echoing, Alex. You know what? Live with it. Go fuck yourself. How's that? I don't know how it echoes because I haven't done anything different.
Love you too, Brent McKinley. McKinney,
I guess. Aqua Control says strippers over hookers because I'm currently poor and cheap hookers are trash and are Vegas escorts worth it? I haven't gotten one in 5 years. People keep saying my mic has an echo. Impossible. Move the mic closer to your mouth, motherfucker. It'd be down my throat if it was any closer to my.
Open up.
Yeah. It's not. The problem is this. I think that mic is picking me up.
You up.
Yeah, exactly. That's all it's doing.
I think you need one of those shields. Is it the? No, but those are for the popping.
I like how they say, well, let's do this. Let's take this out, and we'll see my earbuds. I took my earbuds out and see if there's an echo. Okay, I took the earbuds out, motherfuckers, and we'll see if it's any better. But I don't think so. I think it'll be chew on mic. Down your throat. Spit on the mic first. Spit on the mic first.
Here we go.
See, guys? So it's not me. It's you. It's you motherfuckers. Everyone says, still echoes. I don't know what to do. I have no idea what to do. So I might have to have that mic come over here.
Is it better now?
I'm gonna shut off this mic.
I'm just going to hold this golden...
Put it between us. Put that mic between us.
Okay.
That mic.
Right here.
I'm gonna make it so it's...
Omni.
So it's picking up both of us.
All right, sound check reviews.
Sound check, motherfuckers. It's probably...
Someone's asking
he said that. He said, there we go. So I shut off this mic, and I let that mic do its thing. So it's the crosstalk. That's all it is. Who cares? Better. That's funny that they're actually echoing in whatchamacallit.
Hello.
Oh, you want me? Look at Frank.
Does everybody? Can everybody hear
me? E-Rock says, will Lund tune a GT250 cold air intake and throttle body on a 17 GT manual? I bought it for the warranty, but now I want to go E85 flex. I mean, that's what I have in my car. I don't think it requires anything special. I think at the end of the day, it's a pretty straightforward setup. Now the Cam Lope tune, it's not a big fan of the GT250 intake. So at the end of the day, I would just get a stock throttle body with a GT250 cold air or a JLT. I'm not a big fan of anything like that. Rub it against your lips. You fucking put your lips on that mic. You could keep that shit. Excellent. Okay, so no more paid questions. So now on the drag week stuff, have you ever thought of doing drag week or anything like that? Have you ever thought that was something that someone local to us tried to do drag week last year, did drag week last year, and it was, it just seems like a tremendous, like, what do you get for it? What do you get for drag week besides, like,
what do you get for True Street?
Well, I think locally, you're the baddest motherfucker around, right? Yeah. Because what's the guy's name with the pink, stinky pinky, whatever the hell the car is, what's the name? That pink and black GT that runs like 740s, like letting off. It's a True Street car, big block, twin turbo. It's a GT.
Yeah, the Pinkertons or something like that?
I don't know. It's like a pink GT, like 87 and 93 GT.
My takeaway from True Street was it was always the entry level stuff. Are you scratching your...
what?
Are you scratching your balls?
No.
Okay.
I'm just... I don't know what you're talking about. See, you're distracted right now. I'm not scratching anything. I'm not scratching nothing. I'm not scratching a goddamn thing. I'm not scratching a goddamn thing.
So...
Look now. Oh shit.
So anyway, True Street was always the entry level, a place where you can race and win at NRA and have a chance, right?
Go ahead.
And Drag Week, I think, just elevates that.
Yeah.
They have different classes stuff, but
is it this shit?
Maybe.
I wonder because it's not that strong, and I'm looking at the ingredients.
There's not that much vodka in it.
No, I mean, so I don't smoke, I don't drink, I don't do anything. So anything stimulates me like real easy. And I got a massive case of the blue balls right now. But whatever. Oh, shit. All right. Brick, BRY. Is it Brick TV? BRY 2K TV. What street tire do you recommend for 750 wheel horsepower? S550. What street tire? 750? When they say street tire, to me, they like a 4S Michelin or something like that. But I mean,
there's going to be two options, right? If you care more about how the car drives, then you're looking at a Michelin Pilot Sport Cup or something like that in those plus sizes because it'll channel rain and still have some grip.
Yeah. If
it's got 750 horsepower, trying to use it all, you're going to get a Mickey Thompson drag radial, and if it rains, stay home.
Yeah, it's going to be a drag radial or ET Street SS at that power level, because if not, you're not going to grip for shit. Mm-hmm. Lund has a fucking 1300 horse GT500. They put like a Michelin. You know what they're going to do? They're going to cut the clip of me touching my dick, and they're going to put it all over the place. That's great. So I just don't think you're going to. I wouldn't risk that much horsepower on the street to a street tire unless you get an R888R. You know, some badass shit.
Something like, and again, I mean, that's a 100 tread wear tire.
Do you smoke cigars? You smoke cigars, right?
Yes.
Do you have a favorite?
Honestly, and it's going to sound silly, but Perdomo cigars are excellent. And I like them, not because they have my last name, but they are my favorite out of them. And I've had Cohibas, too. I like the lighter colored tobacco. And I don't like super ginormous cigars. Like Monte Cristos and stuff like that are fine.
Vegas Escort's worth it? I'm on E85. I don't know. I mean, I wonder.
I've never had a Vegas Escort.
I never had a Vegas Escort. Yeah.
I mean,
does Frank do the helicopter? Oh, is that when you?
Yeah, you sling it.
You need a lot of length for that, though. Not a lot of length, but a decent amount of length.
Fresh out of the shower, you could probably pull it off.
Fresh out of the shower, yeah, because it's in that weird stage of like long, like relaxed, like opposite of what it does in the pool. Someone said Nitto NT555 G2.
Probably not sticky enough for 750.
Nigga, I don't think so. Honestly,
like we used to say, the NT555 drag radial was that happy medium because it did well on the street, but it wasn't the stickiest tire, but it was still at least a drag radial. I don't think they have that tire anymore. So
G-Unit Silk City, just laughing. People are just laughing. I guess me grab my dick. Oh man! So someone said LS over boys probably hard after the manhandling. Exactly. They're like, oh, he's touching his dick. I guarantee someone will look at that clip and see where it's at. Like,
find it.
I got some weird fucking guys that look like, oh, your hair's growing out. Their lips are. I'm like, dude, my lips, really, dude?
That's why you need alternating cameras so they can't zero in on you.
Well, I do. I have two, but the next show I'll do will probably be me and Christian.
Like 4 of them.
Honestly, I got to figure out the mic situation. I might just do so that we plug into there, so your buds or your, because I don't know. I need to.
Just do a headset.
But the problem is
headphones and
like a trucker. I'm gonna go to Love's. I need one right there, and I need a shower. Big Daddy Trucker, Alex Mustang Show. Okay, so R888 seems to be the kind of end all be all for that shit. So that might work actually. If that mic in between us seems to work, when I hear it back when we do it later on, I'll just probably do that. This is probably just when I do it by myself, so it's a little closer. Helicopters, when you bounce it off your thighs. How does that helicopter bounce it off?
Well,
so like this?
That's like a switch walk, just back and forth.
Remember click clack? Remember the click clack in the 80s?
Yeah.
That's to me more like, but I'm old. I mean, click clack.
Helicopter dick.
Alex, get a mic like yours for the guest. Are they fucking kidding? Can you take that and show them what I have for the guest?
This is what I'm working with
right
here.
I literally,
this is old blue.
Yeah, I literally have the exact fucking mic for the guest that I have. For whatever reason, it just kind of shit the bed. Yeah, you can put it back. Picked a great time to join. Haha, helicopters. Hey, Matt Sopa. Congratulations. Congratulations on getting featured on the Hoonigan channel and taking out that wire thing. What do you call that thing? The wire spool, like a the
cable.
He drifted right into the side of the motherfucker. No, it was really cool that he got featured. I mean, the reason a lot of people are wondering, like, hey, Alex, why are you giving Matt Sopa like a lot of play? He built that fucking car himself.
Yeah, in his own garage.
In his own garage, which is like an extension of the kitchen, right? Like you put the window
it looks
up.
like they built a garage out of the carport that was in front of the... Like someone could pass him an apple pie while he worked on the car.
So cool. And he was talking about how he built it, right? He said that it's the Mustang subframe, the IRS literally bolts up to the Fusion, except you have to make like a spacer in the back. The front is a S197. Honestly, it looks like it fits. Like it fucking belongs there.
Well, you can definitely tell how much wider it is.
Yeah.
With the track width in the front. But honestly, for drifting, I think that kind of helps them anyway.
Oh, he said it was a carport.
Yeah.
Matt Sopa said it was a carport. Okay, that makes sense.
Like tile. Like that.
I'm like, that is like a badass
cool,
garage
man.
kitchen, whatever that is. I'm like, that's pretty sick.
I like it.
Yeah, it was a wire wheel, like one of those things. Loving the Alex Flores experience. Yeah, a lot of people kind of liken this to the Joe Rogan show. I love Joe Rogan, but I don't want to model this after him. He's very good. He's super successful. I want to get his money, but I don't smoke weed, and it's not like
central. It's not the topic of your show.
It's not. No, it's not. He knows about everything. He's very smart, very well-rounded guy. I'm just a Mustang guy that has toilet humor.
Yeah. Talking
about. Okay, did you ever answer if you wipe front to back or back to front?
No, I didn't. Why is that relevant?
I wipe away from my balls. So I start from the back, and I go like this, and I go...
And you curl up the tail end of your ass.
So you got, when you... Look, I don't know how you guys shit. So I go... Let's see.
How much room do you have? You're laying across the toilet and wipe your ass.
Like this. Okay, what? Because, and you know... You gotta kind of squat. It's like spread your legs a little.
I usually throw
you twing it. Someone told me they go like this between the toilet bowl, and I'm like, wait a minute, that's back to front.
That's back to front. I usually do 2 passes. I'll do a back to front, front to back, because you make the first pass, you're picking up a lot of just everything, and then you go back, you fold it over, and then you go back again to clean up where the areas you think are questionable.
Wow. Yeah, no, you gotta go. You can't go back to front.
And I've even gone side to side.
You must have like a flat asshole where you can just kind of go, Alex is catering to the LS community at the moment. That's great. Back to front equals gay. How was it gay? How was it gay? How was it gay?
I just try to keep my mud flaps clean.
How are you a homosexual if you wipe back to front?
There's all sorts of tells these days. But, I don't even know.
E-Rock says, meant the 350 throttle body and cold air intake on the 17 GT. I know you don't like the 350 throttle body. Better to go stock throttle and cold air with the 85. Look, the 350 throttle body will work fine. Don't expect bone stock drivability with it. It's meant for a GT350. It has slightly different electronics, but I have one. I have a 350 throttle body in my red car. Drives fine. If I could find a stock one, I'd put that bitch on yesterday. I'm just not a big fan of the 350 throttle body. But that, in conjunction with the cold air, they're Ford engineered parts. I like them better than what you got going on. Well, better than, like I see a lot of people say, I got a GT350 throttle body with a stock cold air. I'm like, why the hell did you do that? With a stock intake manifold. I'm like, why the hell did you do that? Ramiro Gutierrez says, hey Alex, my old N-Gauge broke and my stock file was in there. Is there any way that I can transfer that to my file to my new device? Go to stock files. Go to your stock files. And I believe you can just drag and drop it to your new N-Gauge. Someone says FBO, front to back only. That's pretty good. Instead of full bolt on, front to back only. Alex, how come when I wipe it never stops and I'm wiping forever? That's like when you eat chocolate. Well, you're smushing. So
it depends on the consistency of the stool.
But do you like shove your finger up your butt a little bit to get the remnants?
You're gonna have to. You're gonna have to. I mean, you gotta get aggressive with it, because if not, you're gonna be back in there half an hour later after you moved in your chair and you smell it.
When you clean your muddy driveway, do you rub a towel on it or pressure wash it first? Bidet for life. Game changer. Why don't you just jump in the shower?
Can you take a bidet with you?
And you can't take a bidet with you.
You're not going to sit in the sink there and wash your ass.
Hey, Alex, I'm hearing a slight tick. Sounds more like when you turn off your truck. And yeah, dude, someone's dead. Someone's dead.
With a shotgun blast.
I'm hearing a slight tick. Sounds more like when you turn off your truck and you hear the exhaust cracking from heat. Well, that's the sound I'm getting only at idle at 1500 to 1500 RPM. 2015 F-150 So it's like the typical modular tick every fucking most modulars have. I wouldn't really stress it that much unless it's a knocking. Alex, at some point, appreciate some more F-150 EcoBoost content, tune mods, etc. I mean, I can, because, dude, there are more fucking trucks on the road than Mustang. 2.7 Pezos truck, 3.5 Coyote. But honestly, I'd have to buy one to give you proper content.
Yeah, and I mean, and here's the thing: like you have the F-150s with the Coyotes, EcoBoost, and you got the 7.3 Godzilla coming out in the F-250s. Is anyone really going to be modding those for performance other than fuel economy?
For trucks,
tunes. That's
well,
it.
People are putting Whipples on it, and it's
like
like
cold air kit.
So many. There's like the market is so tiny when it comes to F-150. I'm like, for every F-150 guy that mods his shit, for every one that mods his truck, there's 50 Mustang guys. Because it's like, I can't keep this shit stock. I gotta go gap motherfuckers. So, someone says ballsack. You said the other day about changing MT82s. Can you do a calibration for a Tremec Magnum? Currently using a Bowler box, but cruise is not working. That'll be interesting if we can change the gear ratio in the tune and your cruise control comes back. There's no guarantee, but we can try it. Root beer, what the hell? What did root beer say? Alexander Cadell, huge supporter. That guy, like, all the time, on point, great guy. I have a 350 throttle body with a cold air intake and Ford-made throttle body adapter setup. I actually have better than stock drivability. Lunching for the win. And there you go. Look,
nice.
He likes it, but that's his perception. He might like a longer pedal, shorter pedal. I like a short pedal. Some people like a long pedal. Alex, get the 7.3 liter V8. Ha 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 ha. Just kidding. Jeez.
Listen, the 7.3 is coming in a Super Duty truck.
No, but wait until Fox buys. Wait until it goes to the junkyard.
No, well.
What then? What?
Most Super Duty trucks are fleet vehicles,
they
run them until they're 200,000 miles or they burn down. Additionally, how much development you think is going to happen in the performance arena in our industry if it's not in a vehicle that is a performance vehicle? So if it's not in a Mustang or some sort of performance vehicle, then development is going to be lax. It's going to be very slim. You're not going to see companies rushing out to start grinding camshafts and making cold air kits at the level they do for Coyotes because the thing's in a damn truck.
What about AFR? Are they going to get involved?
No. Listen, until the video came out from Ford where they were going over every single piece of the engine.
Oh my God.
If you look at the timeline of when that video came out, anything before that was all speculation and hot air.
Right.
Because no one knows. Unless Ford put it like this, if they don't put it in a Cobra jet, you're not going to see shit out there other than centrifugals and cold air kits. That's it, and they're going to be for trucks.
Okay. Yeah, it's a truck deal, but yeah,
Someone's
guy will
gonna
swap
have to
it.
step out.
Some guy will swap it. Some guy will fucking do good.
And Ford will have one at SEMA, most likely. Like most of the Ford racing vehicles, they don't run. They haven't figured it out yet. That kind of stuff.
Top man Roman says possible to run nitrous on a Cobra Jet manifold, 13 stick-shift car, CJ E85, free-flowing exhaust. Of course, everything needed to make the kit work. Yeah, why not? It's just an intake difference and a throttle body difference, but nitrous is nitrous. I don't think it happens. Roll racing is for roll racing is for fags. That's the guy's name. Says just cause Matt Sopa is on here. I really like that Matt Sopa is getting play. He's a good guy. Deserves all of the praise. A good guy. Someone else said something else. Ramiro Gutierrez says, thank you. The dealership needs to reprogram the ABS module, and they were asking for the stock tune on my ProCharge GT.
They should need it.
They should need it.
That's a separate calibration.
Exactly. According to Frank, because you guys have an IDS tool or access to one, they don't need your stock tune, Ramiro. I think what they're going to want to do, Ramiro, is flash your car back to stock so that they can then update the calibration with their newest. And you know what's going to do? It's gonna lock up your N gauge. So then you cannot put on the tune that we put on it. So they don't need to return to stock to program the ABS module. They just don't.
Shouldn't need to. If they're asking for it to protect yourself, set up a time, go down there, return it to stock, have the guy do it in front of you, and then load your tune back in there.
And if it doesn't load the tune back in because of some silliness he did, you're going to need an unlock file again. So be prepared.
Tell them you don't want the PCM calibration updated, only the ABS module. The ABS module should be upgraded separate. It doesn't go through the PCM to do that.
Gotcha. It's Enzo Lorenzo asks, can you explain the process of a Coyote swap 0640? Same thing.
So if you're going to do a V6, I mean, the K-member is the same. You're not going to be able to reuse your transmission or drive shaft, so you're going to have to upgrade something there. But our harness, Coyote, depending on the generation of the engine you're going to be using, our harness right now is just going to be Gen 1, so you need a Gen 1 engine, Gen 1 engine harness, transmission harness, our jumper harness, whatever we call it, PCM, all the sensors and everything. and then you need a transmission. Get something like a 3650 or an MT82 that should bolt up, and you have drive shafts already available for you. Or you can do a 6R80. That'll work as well. I mean, accessories you're going to have to buy if you're going to do power steering and AC. They don't cross over from the V6 to the GT. So.
It is funny. Like, the room does get darker. Like, once the camera hits my head, it, like, changes to someone saying the room got darker when you put the hat on. A lot of you guys are probably a little too obsessed with me because they give a shit about what I look like. Take the hat back off. I'm like, what, are you going to see my face that bad? Like, it's what I say, not what I fucking do.
You should do the show one day without a shirt on.
Without a shirt on?
Yeah. Or maybe a tank top.
I don't like how I look in them. I mean, I got big arms and stuff. No, because then the guys will be like, what do you do for your workout? I eat chicken and meatballs from the food truck. That's what I do. Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna probably cut it short. Let's the guns. Let's see the guns. Gay. There's a lot of guys. Here. No shirt. Gay. Alex is skinny fat. Thanks, Cheese. What do you do for a workout? Exactly. Okay, we're going to end it here because we've been on for exactly an hour and a half. And then Andrew paid me fucking money. I love it. I'm trying to get out of here. Andrew Kazaza says, does PBH make a simple Coyote swap like they do for the 3-valve, but for a 14 auto V6 to V8 manual?
No, you're going to use all stock stuff. Because, you don't need anything custom made. It's already made. Ford makes it. You just need to buy those parts, plug them in, and program them because they're not going to get any better. Because our stuff, like our control pack stuff, is designed to eliminate stuff, so it's easier to use in a car that doesn't have that engine. You want everything, so you need to go OEM or pass on the car and get the car you want.
I love the people. I love the people. Someone's like, Pat, start dumping $20. Keep him on all night. I'll stay on all night. Fuck, you guys paying me that? Yeah, I got nothing to do. I mean, I don't need sleep. But anyway, let's get out of here. Thank you, Frank, for showing up. Sorry about the microphone difficulties. This is the first show with this setup. I'll try to get everything vetted. I'm going to need another computer because that work laptop is stressing the fuck out. It's just like, oh my God, it's probably... to its capacity. And sorry, I can't answer any more questions. I'm going to be here all night. I want to make sure Frank gets home to his wife and his 2 little, what are they? Whippets? Or Italian Greyhounds?
Italian Greyhounds.
Italian Greyhounds. All right. I'm going to get you out of here. We'll end the show here. Thanks for stopping by, brother. See you soon.
You're welcome.
See you guys later.
Thank you, guys.